Because goodness have nothing to do with whether or not you've been to prison. It has nothing to do with, whether or not you got some thug swag. It got nothing to do with that, because the biggest crooks we have are white collar. The biggest crooks we have in the country, the people that cause the most damage to humanity, are white collar. You worrying about me smoking some dude in some botched robbery going bad. He tried to rob me. We end up with a shootout. You want to label me as a menace to society, but you ain't talking about these people whose policies causes the death of millions. Oh, you don't talk about them. No, you don't talk about them. You ain't talking about these peoples whose policies causes homelessness, poverty. Decimate family structures, decimate communities. You don't talk about them. See, the real criminals, the real pookies, the real ray-rays are the people in high positions. And this is why your Bible tell you that we are not at war with flesh, but we are at war with spiritual wickedness in high places. That's why the Bible say that. Everything I'm about to say, you already know it to be true. You are a slave. You are a slave to money, to social economics, to status, to politics, to ideology. You have sold your soul to have a place in a world order that you should naturally oppose. Whoa now. Welcome back to the Black Elf and your boy, Brother Kush. Look, man, I want to do sort of a weekly wrap up today, you know what I'm saying, for this Friday. I want to talk about some of the comments that I got on a video discussing about whether or not black men should pay attention to black women or whatever. I want to talk about some of the comments I got on that video, because I got some very interesting comments. But before I get into that, let me say this here. We need to clearly define or somehow quantify what is meant by attention, because I'm not clear as to what we are talking about here. Paying attention to women, to me, is not the same as sweating a woman. It's not the same as putting yourself in a vulnerable position with women. You know what I'm saying? It's just not the same thing. So I need to understand, what do we mean by paying attention? Because I got some very interesting comments, and I'm going to read them in the order that they came in. And the first one came in from a long-time supporter, one of the first channel supporters that I've had, you know what I'm saying, Brother JJ, you know what I'm saying? He's always greatly appreciated. He was also the first guy to throw me a few bucks, you know what I'm saying? I mean, solid brother, you know what I'm saying? I wish him well, in life, you know what I'm saying? Because, he showed that he's a real brother, and I like that about him. But Brother JJ said that after several years of negative interactions, let me put this up so y'all can read it also. Let me put this up. Let me find out where I have it at. Still learning the software. It's always a learning curve. Okay, Brother JJ said, after several years of negative interactions with black females, I no longer speak or acknowledge them. Speak to or acknowledge them. Unfortunately, I'm saddened that I cannot communicate with my own women. I'm gonna stop right there. Let me go back here. Well, before I comment on that, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to receive notifications when I drop more videos, because if you don't, YouTube will not alert you that I dropped the video, because I do not trigger the algorithm. My channel is being shadow banned like a mug, you know what I'm saying? But they can't stop it. I mean, look, the Black Elf is the future. These other channels, they've gone as far as they can go. They've been doing the same thing for a decade, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and the only thing that has changed is that the content creators have made money off everybody else. That's the only thing that's changed. What I want to do is issue or usher in a movement of real change. A movement that's going to actually change and benefit the lives of black American men. That's my goal. I'm just starting here, but that is my ultimate goal. I'm not here for money. I'm not here for fame. I'm not here for popularity. I've had all that already, bro. I've had all that already. I've been the shit already, you know what I'm saying? I've been popular, I've had women hear my name and like, oh, you Kush? You know what I'm saying? I've had these experiences. You know, come outside to your car, you got phone numbers written in lipstick off, phone numbers stuck under the windshield wipers. I've had these experiences. I've been there and done that. I've had the money. I've had the popularity. Right now, this is my life's work. So join this channel. Support this movement. Like I said, I'm not going to be your friend. You're not going to agree with everything I say, but I am sincere. And you need to hear a different perspective on things. So hit the bell icon to receive notification when I drop more videos. You want to throw me a bone? You got options up there. You got the Cash App. You got the Venmo. Both of them is at $Black Alpha and at Black Alpha. Let me get right into it with Brother JJ said. Let's recap it though, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't talked all over the beat like Clue. So let's go back and recap it one more time. This is the first two sentences, the first three sentences. He said, after several years of negative interactions with black females, I no longer speak to or acknowledge them. Unfortunately, I'm saddened that I cannot communicate with my own women. Let me stop right there. And let me make it clear to all the sisters that are going to come in here and say JJ is lying. He's not lying. You see, although I'm mistaken for a lot of things. That's because I tell the truth. Usually, if you're a man that tells the truth, you rub everybody the wrong way. And on some points, everybody's going to agree with you. And on other points, everybody's going to disagree with you. That's just the cost of being truthful, right? And not being an ideologue. What JJ said is 100% correct. Because I, too, don't communicate well with black women. It's just a fact. It's a fact. And I've done videos on this. I've talked about this already, you know what I'm saying? Yes, black women, I don't hate y'all. I'm in your corner. You know, whenever you come out of this trance that you're in, you got a brother in me that you can come talk to. But, because of black women, my relationship, how we talk to, behave towards, and deal with each other, my relationship with black women is very, very volatile and contentious because of black women. Not because of me. Look, y'all are looking at my attitude. Some of you lame ass niggas think I'm a simp already. I mean, I'm pimp tight, man. I don't know what's wrong with you dudes. Y'all better learn how to recognize game when y'all see it, bro. I'm pimp tight. But some of you dudes think I'm a simp because I don't express hatred towards the black women. Because I don't mind talking to them. Because I don't mind being their friend. But I do understand that they are messed up. Because I've seen it firsthand. I told y'all when I first moved to Dallas, y'all know I'm from New Orleans. When I first came up here in Dallas, I'm in a nice community. It's slightly majority white, but it's a diverse community, but it is majority white. Very nice community. You don't see a whole, back then you see a lot of black, you see more blacks now, right? It's probably like, I would say that the percentage of blacks have gone up since I moved back here. But I've been back here over a decade. When I first moved back here, there were hardly any blacks back here, right? And I seen this sister. And I just, passing by, like, how you doing, sister? You know what I'm saying? And she just looked at me like, she looked at me like I was about to attack her or something, bro. I mean, crazy shit, bro. I mean, crazy. I mean, like she kind of like almost went in the Floyd Mayweather type stance around this bitch, like she was ready to counterpunch me or something, you know what I'm saying? Like she kind of withdrew and, I'm like, what's wrong with you? I'm just saying hello. I don't see a lot of black people back here. I see a sister. I'm just speaking to you. Oh, okay. Yeah, and like she ain't want to talk to me. I mean, she walked off. I'm like, cool, right? Same black woman. About a week later, because the neighborhood, the community rather that I live in, they always got community events going on, right? I live on private property. It's a big area, but it's private property. And they always doing something at the country club, always got something going on, always got, some kind of event. Few days later, or whatever, a week later, she see me there with my German wife and rolled her eyes at me. Craziest damn thing you've ever seen, bro. Rolled her eyes at me. And even worse, after she seen me with my German wife, the next time she seen me after that, she wanted to talk. And I was like, no, we gonna keep it how you started it. You act like I was about to mug you or something. We gonna keep it like that. And it's only gotten worse. I've noticed that over time, everywhere I've gone, man, try to interact with sisters. It's hard. You can't communicate with them. I do still have black female friends, but we got history. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, I meet like new black women. It is difficult, particularly if you're not in the inner city. If you're outside of that kind of environment where it's just all black people, if you are not in an environment where it's just all black people, black women are very, 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 very difficult to communicate with. They are very confrontational. They have a very funny predisposition towards black men. So I know brother JJ is in line because I can't communicate with him either. But here's the thing, brother JJ, and here's the thing to all the other brothers that feel that. I don't communicate well with black men either. You know what I'm saying? Because the truth of the matter is the same poison that has gotten inside of the minds of black women is also inside the minds of black men, causing them to also act funny towards black men in general and certain black men in particular. I don't know if you heard they had a loud boom, you know, kind of threw me off. But what I was saying though is the same poison that has affected the black women has affected the black men. So the truth of the matter is that black men don't communicate well with black men either, unless they're on the same rah-rah. We used to be a people where we didn't care about the differences that we had between each other. I remember I had this, I guess the dude was basically a friend, right? I didn't grow up with him, but we were close at one time. And he's all into the Moors thing. He go back and forth from Moors to the Muslims, to the Moors, you know, to the nation. And you know what I'm saying? I don't know what he's on right now, right? But anyway, he would call me up and always like, you know, the first thing he would do is go down a list. Every time I mention something about somebody or mention something I read or whatever, the first thing he would do is go down a checklist to see what he can find about the person that he didn't like. And I was like, brother, why you do that? Why do you focus so highly on the differences between you and another brother instead of the similarities or the commonalities? I said, because you have more in common with most brothers than you have the differences. But you search and search and search for a difference until you find it and you throw it away. And the funny thing is that that's the experience that I've had with black women. What I found with black women is that they'll love you to death. But if they just have one thing that they don't like, they'll destroy their whole relationship. Because they have the notion that everything, see, y'all be saying this to make it sound cool. It gotta be 100, gotta be 100, gotta be 100. They have this notion that everything has to be a perfect 100 on some kind of scale that doesn't really exist. And they will throw away a 99% relationship in a heartbeat. Throw it away. But the truth of the matter is that it's always 90 to 99% in a relationship. You could find a woman that you like or love the most and she'll still have habits or quirks or something that drive you crazy, and vice versa. You will still bring something to the table that drive her crazy. That's just life. But what I found is that women of other races don't mind that, but they learn to ignore it or learn to work around it. The same thing a man got to do. He got to learn to ignore it or work around it. But what I hear out of you brothers is the same thing. If y'all come to a content page and I don't say exactly what you want me to say, y'all unsubscribed, y'all gone, y'all mad at me, y'all leave negative comments and nasty comments. Say, bro, I'm not glued to you. I'm not your goddamn Siamese twin. I don't need to be exactly as you are, and you don't need to be exactly as I am. The only difference is I'm cool with it. But what I found out is that most black men are not cool with the slightest bit of difference, and most black women are not cool with the slightest bit of difference. But the problem is that this difference, this measurement or judgment, this all or nothing way of thinking only applies to us. It only comes into play when it comes to us dealing with us. Because you'll deal with a white man as a black man. You'll be friends with white men, red pill, or white men conservatives. They don't like your ass. They racist. But you'll find commonality with them in your mind and think that they're your buddies on your end. You're never their buddy on their end. You're their buddy in your mind. And you're fine with that. Black women do the same thing with the liberals. You'll shield for the liberals all day and push the agenda of white female feminists, white lesbians. You'll push their agenda down everybody's throat with no benefit to your own, and you'll do it happily because you see yourself as being a part of them. But they never accept you as a part of them. But you see yourself as being a part of them, and you're fine with that in your mind. But the thing is, though, every time we mentally join them, part of being a part of them comes with being racist towards us, or hating us, or not liking us. So the more you join them mentally, the more you disconnect from your own brothers and sisters. Same thing on the man's side. Whether it's the woman's side or the man's side. Both of y'all do the same thing. The more black men join this red pill type, conservative type content, the more they disconnect from black people in general. The more black women join feminism, the more they disconnect from black people in general. It doesn't matter whether you social politically conservative or social politically liberal. The more you get into it, the more you disconnect from black people. It is what it is. So I know what Brother JJ is saying is true because I've experienced that. I have a problem too talking to black women, you know what I'm saying? And he goes on to say how, one of the women told him that, they don't talk to black men because they're all thugs and poor and uneducated. I mean, but see, these have been the lies that they've been saying about us, man, since the 70s, bro, since the 70s and 80s, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the crazy thing, I'm telling y'all youngsters that this stuff has not changed. It's only gotten worse. Because instead of, see, what we did in my time, we pushed back on that by just simply going our own way. We were the original MGTOW, the MGTOW 1.0, if you will. I'm going to talk about that where you got this dude, Black Gnostic or BGS. He's trying to say that there was no Manosphere 1.0. And they got some dudes that was around way back before Manosphere was Manosphere. And the dude's saying, man, what y'all doing is not what we did. We were doing something different. And Black Gnostic wants to just take credit for it all and this and that. But the truth of the matter is, I remember the conversation we were having with black women before the Manosphere. I remember. The dudes that's saying that they were there before all this, he's not lying. And what he's saying about them doing something different from what the originals were doing, he's not lying about that either. But the point I'm making is that we were the original type MGTOW men. We just simply went our own way. As black women started that bull, we just left and went dated and married women of other races, we kept it pushing, We just kept it pushing. But what y'all did instead, y'all capitulated, basically. What y'all did was y'all said, okay, no, y'all just mad because y'all ain't good enough for these women. So I'm going to go to school. I'm going to keep my nose clean. I'm not going to go to jail. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that instead. And the black women are going to like me. And after you invested all that time, energy, and money into it, you realize they still don't like you. Because what women say and how they really feel is two different things. They'll repeat the talking points all day about the kind of men they want. But the kind of men they really want, they won't say because it's not socially correct or socially acceptable to admit to the kinds of men they really want. And that's the problem they have. So when they do meet the kind of man that they actually like, they destroy their relationship with that man because they're too busy trying to judge that man through the filter of society. They want that man to become something that he isn't. But you're attracted to this man as he is, but yet you want him to change into something that you're not attracted to just to fit an idea of what society say a good man is supposed to be. But if he was like that, you wouldn't want him. Because you don't want those kinds of men. Because goodness have nothing to do with whether or not you've been to prison. It has nothing to do with, whether or not you got some thug swag. It got nothing to do with that because the biggest crooks we have are white collar. The biggest crooks we have in the country, the people that cause the most damage to humanity are white collar. You worrying about me smoking some dude in some botched robbery going bad. He tried to rob me. We end up with a shootout. You want to label me as a menace to society, but you ain't talking about these people whose policies causes the death of millions. Oh, you don't talk about them. No, you don't talk about them. You ain't talking about these peoples whose policies causes homelessness, poverty. I mean, decimate family structures, decimate communities. You don't talk about them. See, the real criminals, the real pookies, the real ray-rays are the people in high positions. And this is why your Bible tell you that we are not at war with flesh, but we are at war with spiritual wickedness in high places. That's why the Bible say that. Spiritual wickedness in high places. So I digress. I know what the brother's saying is true, but there's a bigger reason behind why he can't communicate with black women, because it's not just black women. It's not just black women. It's black people. You know who I get the most pushback for? And I'm look, I don't like the pro-black label, but I'm about as pro-black as it really gets, for real, for real. But nobody see me as being pro-black because I'm just not going to say the kinds of things they want me to say. I'm not going to take the kinds of positions they want me to take. But really, how a man should be judged is by how he walk, not how he talk. Huh? Oh, y'all ain't hearing me. How a man should be judged is by how he walk. Yeah, ask me how I walk. Ask them white folks when they threw me in that beam, you know what I'm saying, trying to throw a million years at me and told me, tell on my enemies, give them somebody. Ask them what I told them. Don't tell me how I walk. Ask all them dudes that try to put some iron on me, that try to put some metal on me, how I stood my ground and went down like Last Samurai on their ass. Ask them. You see, I get tired of saying this, but I'm going to keep saying this. My life has been tested. I know what I'm made out of. So a man should be measured and judged by how he walk, not how he talks. The mouth can say anything. Nigga, what you made out of when it come down to the come down? Will you stand on that square and go down swinging? Or will you fold and run? Will you turn tail, tuck tail and run? What do you really made out of? Because that's what separates men like Brother Kush from other men. I am what I am. When they ask Moses, who shall we say you represent? And the burning bush said, tell them that I am that I am. I am that I am. That's all I can tell you. This is real here. So let's continue, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get off Brother JJ. We're going to go to the next one. Now, Brother Charles, this brother here is cerebral. Charles Merchant. Now, this brother here comes off as being a bit more, what I would call intellectual in the way he approaches things, you know. I disagree with him, but at least he did say something, right? I mean, you know, he explained himself. He said, when youngsters figure it out before boomers, stop giving your attention away freely. I didn't too much understand it, so I asked him to kind of elaborate. And this is what he said. He said, attention is currency. If the modern Medusa is not willing to pay for my attention, she's not getting any. The ladies can get their attention fixed from their phones and from the Sims that have no control over their resources. Giving away attention to women whose bellies don't get full. Let me stop there. Attention is currency. If modern Medusa will not pay for my attention, she's not getting any. Ladies can get their attention fixed from their phones and from the Sims that have no control over the resources. Now, before I respond to what Brother Charles said, let me make it clear. I'm not taking a jab at Charles. I actually appreciate that he said something, right? I mean, I really do. You know, because that's what it's all about, right? Getting something that you can actually talk about. And his reply is something you can talk about. So I'm going to break it down. First of all, attention is only currency to those that value attention. I don't value attention. Whether you pay any attention to me or not, don't make or break me. Therefore, whether I pay attention to you or not, don't make or break me. Attention is not currency to me because it has no value to me. Right? Now I know you can say, well, Brother Kush, you trying to do this YouTube thing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta attract attention from people so your channel will grow and everything, you know what I'm saying? but I'm not really trying to grow my channel per se. How to say this here? Again, now we're talking about these words and the usage of words, because I don't know if attention is the right word to use with dealing with content. I'm trying to let the quality of the content speak for itself. Nothing else. Nothing else. And I know in order for you to hear it, I got to get your attention in some kind of way. But the attention itself is not the currency that I'm looking for. The support is the currency that I'm looking for. The ear, the understanding. Not that you got to be like me. Again, that's not what I'm not trying to convert nobody. But I'm trying to create a dialogue so that brothers and sisters will think about certain things in different ways. And that's the currency that I'm trying to exchange here. I'm trying to exchange something real here. Attention to me is nothing. Again, if you ignore me, don't pay me no attention, man, I wouldn't even notice. I won't even notice. You know what I'm saying? Real deal, bro. I see black women particularly, because you don't get this out of women of other races, but black women especially go out their way to pretend like they don't see you. Look up, look down, you know what I'm saying? Look side, almost bump into you in the aisles in the store and stuff. Bruh, that shit don't bother me, man. It don't bother me. It's like, do you, you know what I'm saying? Do you, it don't bother me, you know what I'm saying? But I see it all the time. So, if you don't pay me any attention, I don't care. And if I pay you attention and you don't reciprocate, I still don't care. So I don't really see the currency in attention. Now, he said if Madam Medusa's not willing to pay for my attention, she's not getting any. See, now you're making this transactional, Brother Charles. And I don't really know if... See, first of all, we got to still define what attention is, because we still haven't defined what attention is. And he comes back, he say, Kush, you thinking of it in terms of what does it cost me, right? What does it cost me, right? And he said that they are thinking of in terms, what does it cost her? And it's smooth, right? It's some slick talking shit, but I don't understand what it means. I just don't understand what it means. You know what I'm saying? Because what does it cost any of us? Just now when I was walking to the store, you know what I'm saying? Passed by this, I think she's a Hispanic lady, she walking on the trail, and we both spoke to each other. Did that cost me anything? Didn't cost her anything. She gave a slight smile, said good morning. I nodded, said good morning, and we kept walking. Now, is that a form of paying attention? I don't know what attention is. I really don't understand what we're talking about here, because I don't really see where that comes from. And he said, like, these days can get their attention fixed from their phones and the simps that have no control over the resources. First of all, we don't have resources. None of us have resources. Your job is not a resource. A few bucks you got in the bank account, that's not a resource. Money is supposed to buy resources, and you don't have enough money to buy resources. Because buying resources, it takes millions. Resource is land, mineral-rich land, land with clean water, land with minerals. This is resource. The earth is the only real resource. And we don't have resources, people. Owning a house that you got a fucking 30-year mortgage on, that's not a resource. We don't have resources. So we like to throw these terms out, but and that's why I'm here. What I'm here to do is stop the bull, right? Stop the bull. Y'all young folks call it cap. That's not how we use the word cap, but that's what y'all call it. The young people call it cap. You know what I'm saying? That's not how we use cap coming up. Cap was meant something else, right? You know what I'm saying? When I was coming up, but it has a different meaning today. But, and I don't feel comfortable with saying cap because I'm old school, but I'm going to say the bull. I'm here to stop the bull. You know what I'm saying? Because throwing around words like resources might sound good, but what resources do you actually own and control? What resources? You have no resource. Like I said, your job is not a resource. Those few bucks you got in the bank account, that's not a resource. You don't have a resource, people. If you had resources, you would be fundamentally wealthy. because that is the only real currency. Resource is the real currency, and we don't have it. So I don't know what he's talking about. But let me say this here about paying attention to women. And I want y'all to feel me on this. You know the kind of men that pay the least amount of women attention to women? Men like me. Look, man, I'm not the one that flocked to any video that talk about women in the title. That shit don't interest me. I have no curiosity. I look at more of these videos out of searching for research for content to talk to y'all about than anything. I mean, I don't care about that stuff. I'm not a dude that jock women. I'm not a dude that's obsessed with women. You can't just talk about women on a channel and I'm going to go ahead and support the channel because you ragging on women. And being hateful towards women is not appealing to me. You know, if I put a title talking about, man, this modern women, oh, man, YouTube pushing. I ain't blaming y'all per se because the algorithm actually pushes that stuff out there. I know I make pretty good thumbnails. My thumbnails are attractive enough to gain the attention of anybody that sees it. Which the problem is that YouTube don't put my videos out there. That's the problem on my channel. YouTube just don't push my videos. But if I was to start talking like Mr. Lego or mediocre tutorials and views or JR Wisdom or you know all the cats, right? You know, Obsidian, Kevin Samuels, you know the usual suspects, right? If I was to start titling stuff like that and doing videos along those lines, my channel would explode with the same kind of men that will tell you that they ignore women, that they ain't paying them no mind, that they walking past them, that they ain't worried about them. Same kind of men. My channel would explode with them. I can start doing lives and they'll start donating money to me. The same kinds of men that will tell you that they ain't worrying about women, that they not interested in women, that forget these women. Those same men will be on my channel listening to me rag on women every day for hours. It seemed to me you paying women a lot of attention because I ain't about to sit there and listen to that shit. I ain't about to go on nobody's page, man, or channel and listen to them talk about women for 2 hours. I ain't about to listen to that shit for 5 minutes. I'm just being real. So when you talk about paying attention, I actually pay the least amount of attention to women. I honestly don't care. I got 9,999 problems and women ain't one. Or shall I say concerns, and women are not one. I don't have a female concern. I'm happily married. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, I'm still pretty good with women. If I want to smash them on the side, it won't be hard for me to get something. You know? I mean, now, if I want a black woman, it might be a challenge. Not that they won't deal with me on the side. It's just that I don't communicate well with them anymore. I'm at a space now where I'm like in a no man's land in regards to black people. I'm not liberal. I'm not conservative. I have no ideologies either way. You know, I'm where we used to be. I used to be a common type of person when I was coming up. Now I'm sort of an anomaly. I'm different now. And it's just weird on me now, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, at one time, all black people was basically like me. Today, hardly any of them are like me. So because I don't fit nowhere, I have a trouble talking to black women long enough to even get to the bedroom. We just don't click long enough to get there. You know what I'm saying? We just don't click long enough, you know? So anyway, but my point is, I don't have a female problem nor concern. I'm not the kind of dude that's going to flock to these channels just because they talk about women. I'm not interested in topics about women. I really don't even want to talk about this stuff at all. At all. I mean, don't get me wrong. Women are important to us. That's why we talk about it. But see, y'all won't admit that. See, I'll tell you that women are very important. But the same types of dudes that flock to these channels, Obsidian and all these dudes, they'll be the ones tell you that women are not important. It's the weirdest damn thing, bro. It's the weirdest damn thing. So I'm here to stop the bull. Make your mind. If they're not important, show me they're not important. Look, if you don't get along with black women, prove it. Move on. Go to women of other races. Leave it alone. That's what I did. So if you got a black woman problem, then change. Go somewhere else. If black women are not important to you, stop talking to them. Stop worrying about them. Stop supporting these channels that talk about black women all day. If women are not important to you in general, then stop supporting these channels that talk about women all day. Prove it. See, you can't call men like me a simp. Again, I'm pimp type. Man, I ain't got simp nowhere in my bone, bro. Y'all got me messed up, bro. I ain't got simp nowhere in my bone. Like I said, but I don't have a female problem. You know, but you can't call men like me a simp because I don't hate the women. Because I do understand that women do have some points that we need to hear. They do have some realistic gripes about the way we carry certain things. They got some realistic stuff, right? Some valid complaints. But you know, y'all don't want to hear that. I'm a simp, I'm doing this, I'm weak. And again, there's nothing simpish or weak about me. Y'all just got me all twisted, bro. But at the same time, any video in every channel that just sit there and talk about women all day, y'all flock to these channels. Some type of hatred is all we seem to gravitate towards. If it's hating black men, black women gravitate towards it. It's hating black women, black men gravitate towards it. Hating black people in general, black people gravitate towards it. We got problems, man. And the problem is really self-hatred. That's really where it comes down to. This got nothing to do with paying attention to women. This got nothing to do with you being nice. Because as I told the story, after I slammed that door in that sister's face, that young lady looked at me, man, and it hurt my soul until this day, bro. I feel this big, man, because it's not me. It's not me. I could have held the door for the young lady. If she didn't say thank you, it wouldn't have killed me. But what I did was I started letting this shit darken my soul and change who I am. Any other female, regardless of race, that's coming behind me, I'm about to go through some doors, I'd have held the door for them. But because it was a black woman, not because it was a woman, because it was a black woman, I let the door close in her face on purpose, and she knew it. She knew it. And that young lady walked in the second door behind me, and she just looked at me, man. And I swear, man, my gangsta ass could have started crying because I could feel her pain. I could feel her saying, brother, what in the hell did I do to you? And I'm sitting there having a conversation in my head saying, sister, you did nothing to me. You did nothing to me. I took something out on you that you have nothing to do with. And that's not me. And I vowed from that day, I'm going to be me. And if they just want to be assholes, that's on them. I won't be that way. I won't be that way. And I definitely won't be that way towards black women because, I mean, that's just dirty and nasty. If I'm going to be nasty towards women, it's going to be all women. If I'm not going to be nasty towards all women, I'm not going to be nasty towards no women. And that's just how it is. That's just how it is. So, on that note, man, I'm out of here, man. You know, I hope y'all got something out of this Friday wrap up. You know, I hope I said something that you could take away from this and gain and build upon. You know what I'm saying? And again, remember, I'm not here to be anybody's friend. I'm trying to do something here. I'm trying to give us perspective on things, right? Different points of view. So, but I'm gonna stop it here, man. I've been talking long enough. Till next time, out of here, I'm Brother Kush, aka the Black Alpha. Salam.